Gucci gang, wiener, penis, test, 1, 2, 3. We are live. We are live in my room. This is the first recorded video for the podcast. So hopefully,
Welcome to the podcast.
welcome to the podcast. And before I say anything else, guess who's here?
It's your boy.
It's your boy.
It's your boy. It's Mason. It's been a minute since me and River have done a video together. It's been like, man, the Sugar Tutus.
Sugar Tutu. Those days.
Those good old days. Now we're both grown up, and it's kind of weird.
Put the mic in front of it, okay?
Oh,
Okay, it's okay.
okay, sorry. but we it's been a it's been probably. I mean, we could probably go back to the YouTube channel and really see like. It's probably been 2 years, maybe more since we've made the list. Yeah, at least 2 years since we've made it.
Before the YouTube thing, I want to introduce him as, my best friend.
Yeah.
This is the guy.
My boyfriend, you might even say.
What?
Wait.
Oh, whoops. So, we met when we were about 11 or 12.
Yeah, 12.
At a youth group. I think he is my longest duration of friend, to be honest.
Yeah.
We met at a youth group, and I remember why. They were talking about some message, and he goes, I was playing Black Ops 1, and do you know what wallbang means? I wallbang this guy. And
Jeez.
I'm thinking, he knows what wallbang is. I want to fuck this man. So, yeah, I talked to you afterwards. You were showing me clips from your old YouTube channel.
Check out
this trick shot I hit. And it's like capture the flag bots are all standing by the flag.
Yeah, they're all standing by the flag. I used to like set up the capture the flag, and like the bots would go for the flag, and then I would turn the settings on so they weren't allowed to capture the flag, so they would all just stand by the flag, and I would like hit trick shots off of them standing by the flag, and then I would post them on YouTube as like montages and stuff.
Dude,
oh gosh,
it's good to be reunionized.
Yeah,
because Mason has been at college since August.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when somebody goes to college that you're really close to, it sucks. It's sort of like having your family move away.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a bummer. So whenever he comes home for the holidays, Merry Christmas, by the way, it's cherished. And, we want to make video record of it.
Christmas is a week away.
Christmas is a week away. What
I feel
are you
like
getting?
it just started in March just started.
Literally.
The
pandemic was just announced.
Yeah, this pandemic has flown by. But I'm
wow, this pandemic has just flown by.
Just flown right by. No,
kind of wish we could go back.
Yeah, it was a weird time during the pandemic, but I'm back in college now, but back for Christmas. I'm excited to be back for Christmas, but I want to try to start YouTube back up again, but it's just like I don't have any time. That's one thing I learned about college is like you barely have any time. I mean, you have, this is the best way I can explain it, and it's kind of going to be hard to say, but you have all the time in the world, but you have no time at all.
Right.
Like I can wake up like late if I wanted to, and like there's nobody holding you accountable to do those things, but like you have to do those things. So like I don't know. It's just hard. Like, and then I'll have the nights, but most nights that I have free, I'm studying or like I'm doing assignments or whatever. So. Yeah.
So is anything sort of, what's something you learned, not just academically, but sort of like a life lesson going to college?
I think my life lesson I learned going to college is that I think that if like people wanted to stay in your life, they would, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what I learned going off to college is like sometimes you have to focus more on yourself. I've been watching BoJack Horseman, so it's going to be kind of depressing.
It's going to get sad.
But yeah, it's just like the biggest thing I learned about college too is like I feel like I was pretty blessed growing up, like with my family, like teaching me how to be an adult before going into college. But like I've seen some of my friends that are there and they're kind of just thrown into it and they were never shown how to be an adult. And like how to do certain things on their own, and like there's been like some people that I know that like they're like, oh shoot, I forgot to shower today. I'm like, you forgot to shower? Like how is that a thing? But then like I know like I think about it, I'm like, well, some people don't learn how to be adult, but like you're basically just thrown right into how to be an adult. if that
Yeah,
makes any
it's
sense.
sort of like where you started a job, and the best way to learn is just be thrown into
Yeah.
the fire.
Yeah,
And
like
that's also,
sink or swim.
Yeah,
Just how it is.
that's also a cool thing, too, is that we do work together.
Yeah.
So he basically recommended me this job he had, and he said he loved it, and I joined him, and we're still working together.
Yeah.
That is when he's back from college, but it's fun to be working with your homie. It is.
It is pretty fun to be working with the homies, and I feel like, dude, that's the thing that's also sucked about college the most is like making friends. I know that sounds weird, but like going into college and not knowing anybody, and coming from this summer, where I feel like this summer is where I got closest to people.
Make sure it's recording.
Yeah. This summer is like where I got the closest to people, and like I got to know people more, and then like literally 2 or 3 months later, I had to move away from them and make all new friends. And given I've made some pretty good friends at college, but it's just different. Like
there's not that maybe connection.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just. But other than that, college has been pretty fun. Like it's weird because like I'm like in the middle of nowhere, but like I'm in the middle of nowhere, but like I have major cities. Like I have like 5 major cities surrounding me, so like I can go like a half hour here or a half hour there. So I always have some. I always have.
But you're
something
like
to do.
sort of. I went to your college, and you sort of have to take these back roads and like go through this. And I was listening to a podcast as I was driving there about like serial killers, and it was all in like Montana and just, like, cities that's nowhere. So I'm like, I'm gonna get raped.
There's
hopefully.
like where I'm at, like there's some stories, and it's crazy because we had some girl just like one time this semester, she texted her roommate and was like, I'm in a situation I can't get out of. I put myself in a situation I can't get out of.
Yeah.
And then that was the last text message she sent. And then she went missing for like 3 days and then just showed back up to the dorm like nothing happened.
Did she say anything?
No. Like, she just showed back up to the dorm like nothing happened. And everybody
Sorry,
was like
guys.
concerned, like they were on a chase for her and stuff like that, and she just showed back up. And so like, and then like one time I was at the gym, bro, and like there's some weird people there. Like of course there's gonna be weird people everywhere, but there's just one guy in particular every time I go to the gym, and he's like this tall bald dude with like a beard. And like one time I caught him like staring at this one girl, and she was like definitely underage.
Yeah.
And like he was just kind of like staring like just like the whole time she was
Dude,
working out. And
I hate people like that, but I never really notice them because I'm always the one who's looking at the underage.
Oh, right.
Just kidding.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
For legal reasons.
No,
Yeah. But I'm kidding.
But the weirdest part is literally like one time I saw him walking around campus, and like I was like,
oh, like a Ted Bundy wannabe.
Yeah, like I was like, I don't know if I should say something to this dude, because I did say something to him at the gym one time. I was like, it's like, come on, man, like come on, like, are you kidding me? Like, you're like 70 years old looking at like a 16-year-old girl, and
Was
like
he
I
at
feel
least like a gilf?
maybe.
Think about it.
Like if I let me think about that one for a little bit. But yeah, he is. It's just, and like he always. I've caught him staring at not just like girls, but I've caught him staring at me before.
Dude, he's trying to
Like,
get that thick booty.
I know, man. I've just got those squats are so deep, you
Yeah,
know.
dude. I remember when you walked in today, I like just wanted to drop to the ground and just like drop your pants and just start.
Bro, it's just so like
In like a spiritual way though.
Yeah.
Like sort of a study, like a Bible study.
yeah,
way.
like a study way. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's kind of hot. No,
So
it's
I'm
just
sorry. What?
like
Sorry.
well. Anyways, back to the guy. So he's just like, he stares at like it's mostly whenever I'm doing like arm workouts, like I'll get an arm pump in,
Mm-hmm.
and like he'll grin. He's got this weird grin on his face.
Right.
It's super weird. But yeah. Anyways,
It's
I like how freaking talking about college has just gone into that. And
I
like,
mean, that's creepy though. Like,
yeah, like but
low key. Like, what if he kidnapped you? What if he like grabbed your butt?
you know, I don't think I would mind the second one. But no, it's just like I think about that though. I'm like, this guy could totally be like some weird guy that I've just like,
He could have like not bodies and sex. I'm talking about bodies as
Yeah,
Dead.
dude, that's what I'm like.
He could have like 10 bodies.
Dude, that's what I think about all the time too. Like, I'll be walking past people on the street. I'm like, this guy has a completely different life than I do. Like,
Yeah.
who knows what the heck this guy is doing today?
Yeah. I think about that a lot often. It's like especially like going to work and seeing traffic. It's like each individual person in the cars think they're like the main character.
Yeah, they're
And
going
it's
to
like,
their own
and
job.
I'm guilty of that too. Like I think me going to work is like the start of the movie or something.
Yeah,
But it's like we all have our little we're all like little ants
yeah, dude.
trying to do
And
everything.
that's what I learned, like, too, is like going to football games this year. Is like their stadiums packed with like 50,000 people, 60,000 people in the stadium, and like I'm like, I don't know what the heck like these people are because I think about my own life and I think about like I'll have good days and I'll have bad days. I'm like,
Right.
some of these guys are going through good days and some of these, like, who's to say like on the way there like they didn't get into like a car wreck or something?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like how many empty seats are in here? Like people that were
Exactly.
supposed to be here.
And that's the thing. That's like one of the football players or one of the crowds or anything could be having the best day of their life, and it's crazy how simultaneously the person right next to them is in a completely different world where it's dark, it's grungy, they have a complete different mindset
Yeah.
of how things are.
Yeah, and like my girlfriend too. Like we would go to some of the football games, and like her family has season tickets. So
Mhm.
like I would go with them, and I would sit in the season ticket seats. And so like there was this old couple that sat next to us, and like they came to the first game because obviously it was the first game since COVID. So like
Yeah.
the seats were gonna be packed
Oh,
out,
yeah.
the house was gonna be packed out, and then they never showed up to another game. And like me and her like talked about it one time. Like we know that they were like season ticket holders,
Right.
and like we were like, what's to say like some of these people like bought season tickets and then like went off and like they might have moved away, or like what if somebody died like
Yeah.
that sat in those season ticket seats. And that's just a weird thought to think about because like
yeah.
I'm like, everybody's got their own complex lifestyle, and like everybody's got their own like things going on in their life because like I said, I have good days and I have bad days, and some people might be having bad days, some people might be having good days, and it's just a weird thought to think about. Oh, there's a term for that, where you sit back and you think about how everybody has different lives,
Yeah.
like lifestyles. I forgot what it's called,
yeah. It's like
I can't think of it, but there's an actual term for it because like the human brain thinks about that. Like that's something that we all have in common. is
We all,
think
like,
about
reminisce on that.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
think about that a lot.
Dude, have you seen that picture? You probably have. It's at the New York Mets Stadium for people who are getting on the planes to leave, and those cars never got returned. Like,
Yeah.
years
Yeah,
later. I
like
don't know if they
from
moved it,
9/11. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
and that just shows people died on that day. Like,
Yeah,
they never got in their
It's like
car again.
cars never left the parking lot
Yeah.
on 9/11.
This got dark. Really,
Yeah,
this turned
no.
into a Joe Rogan podcast.
It's just so it's so weird. But
It is.
like I've seen stuff like that. Like if we started talking about college and now we're on to like this, like from college to
So
9/11, from college to 9/11.
So let's start on a lighter note. He is dating. Can we say the restaurant's
Yeah,
name?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we work at
I mean,
Can I? Oh, if it isn't obvious enough.
yeah.
So
that's where
he
we're
is dating a Chick-fil-A owner's daughter.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah.
And I simultaneously am also seeing the Chick-fil-A owner's daughter.
Oh, really now? No,
But seriously though, when you did that, I was like, this dude has balls of steel, and I want to suck them because he's going after. I shouldn't say that in the same topic. Of
No.
my boss.
Yeah, it was interesting. So like we started talking back in the summer, and like it was a weird process at first, like because I'm like, oh gosh, like I'm really dating my like boss's daughter, and like everybody's like you're crazy man, and but then at the same time like she's so perfect for me that
Yeah.
like all my friends were like, do it, like go for it, like it's a big risk but go for it.
Right.
And I went for it, and like oh my gosh, I remember the next day after so we had been talking for like a couple months, and like then like the time, like I asked her like to go out or whatever, I asked her to be my girlfriend, like, and it was that night. It was the day. Like that, not that night, but it was technically in the morning, because it was like we had all came over after work one night, and like we had all like been hanging out together, and then it was like me and her, like everybody had left, and it was me and her. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna ask her now. So it was like I asked her at maybe like 1:00 in the morning.
And how did that go? Like, run us through the step by step. I can be Salad. My fault. Okay. Salad was what I was gonna say. His girlfriend. So I'll act like you're a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You act
so
like you.
I was just like, it was pretty obvious at this point, because like we had like been talking. Like,
yeah.
Been like FaceTime.
Sort of like
stuff.
romantic.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like, I don't know why, but that night, I came into work, and like I knew it was the night. Like I went up to Logan, and I went up to Danny. And I was like, tonight's the night. They were like, tonight? I was like, yeah. I was like, tonight's the night. So like, I had a feeling. And I told Clayton too. Like Clayton was, I was like, Clayton, like, tonight's the night. And
those are just other team members, by the way, at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. So I was like, tonight's, because they had all known. Like there was only a few people that knew, but like those are some of the people that knew. And so I told them, and like, so then that night we were all just chilling and like playing pool, playing ping pong, watching movies and stuff.
Was I there, or was that a different time?
I think that was a different time. Okay, this night was the night that we like. Afterwards, we did like a Bible study like that night, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But like,
what were you guys dating when we had a like it was a company get together at the owner's house, and we were going to the pool?
Oh no, we weren't dating yet.
Dating
that was when we were talking. Like that was like right when we were talking.
And simultaneously, I'm glad you guys don't act like this, but we had other team members that are talking, and we would look over on the beanbag, and they're just glued to each other's lips.
Video of it.
Or you do,
dude. I have a video because it's a video of like everybody sitting on the floor. And, like, they're playing Cards Against Humanity. We were playing Cards Against Humanity. Everybody was sitting on the floor. And the camera slowly pans over. And you just see them on top of you see them on top of each other on the beanbag. And the funniest part is, like, my girlfriend's dad, like, we, like, talk about it. We were, like, talking about it one time. And he was like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know, like, if I should, like, go up to them and be like, hey, like, this is my house. Like, don't. And, like, we always talk about, like, the beanbag, and I was like helping them move, and like the beanbag was sitting up there, and I was like, oh, there's the christened beanbag, and like they were like, oh my gosh. But
you walk up, it has like cream all over it and stuff.
I don't even want to think it, but yeah, like in the video she's like rubbing his head and stuff like that. But so then it was like we were all at the house or whatever, and like it had just been a good night, and I was just feeling it, and so like I kind of just like I remember I was like, oh, I need to talk to you about something after everybody leaves, because we had like talked about like other things, and like we would just like stay after people had left and like just talk about like our day and like what's going on and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I have something to talk to you about tonight, and it's like, obviously it was that. I was just like, hey, like,
do you feel like she kind of knew?
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Okay,
for sure, because she said that it was really funny because she had heard me go up to my friends and be like, tonight's the night, and she was like, all right, yeah, this is gonna happen.
She knew. She was preparing her script of what to say when you.
Yeah.
So walk me through and give me the play-by-play when you finally came up to her. Give me the scenario. So on the couch or something.
So like, it was right after everybody had left, and like my friends had known. So it was me, Danny, and Logan left, and Danny was like, well, I guess it's time for me to head out, and then like winked at me, and Logan was like, yeah, I guess I gotta go too, and so like they left, and so like
those are true friends.
Yeah,
right there. They're setting you up for success.
So they left, and like I sat down or whatever next to her, and I was like it's kind of obvious by now, like, we've been talking for a little bit. It was like, yeah, so like let's make it like official, let's like do it right or whatever. And
what'd she say?
She was like, no, she said no.
Fuck. Damn it.
Dude,
You woke up that entire day just for her to be like, nah, sorry. Kind of bored.
Like, the most special thing to me is, like, she's always waited for, like, a boyfriend. And, like, she's, like, always been like, oh, I want to wait until, like, I always tell her it's, like, the highest honor that I have. And, like, but the most terrifying thing, oh, my gosh. Like, I had her dad's phone number and everything,
oh
obviously, because he's, like, he's got our number or whatever. Oh, that reminds me, I got another story to tell after this. But, like, he's got my number, I've got his or whatever. But, like, the next morning, well, this is what I was confused about earlier. Should I say, like, the same morning? It's technically the same morning, but yeah. The next morning, I woke up at, like, 9, and, like, I see a message on Discord, the app that we use to communicate through work.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, she told me, like, a little bit about what happened last night. He was like, it's like, I'd love to sit down with you and, like, talk with you about it and stuff like that. He was like, I'd love to go get lunch sometime. And I was like, okay, let's plan for, I was like
you
I
like
gotta
back
get
out
this.
of the deal
I was
immediately.
I was
like, wait, what? Never mind.
I gotta get this out of the way. So, like, not that it was a bad thing, but I was terrified. I was so terrified. So, like, I messaged him. I was like, yeah, let's meet for lunch or breakfast. It was the next day after he had sent me that message, and he was like, okay, sounds good. So, like, we met for lunch, and basically he was just, like, telling me, like, all his expectations and stuff like that, and I was, like, respectable. And, like, that's when like, I had made that joke, like, a few days prior to him about like my little sister, like, she was, like, talking to this guy or whatever. And I was like, yeah, no, I told the guy, whatever you do to my sister, I'm gonna do to you. And then, like, we were walking out of breakfast that morning, and he was like, and remember, and he, like, touched my shoulder. He's like, whatever you do to my daughter, I'm gonna do to you. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that was kind of funny. But the funniest story I have about, like, our relationship so far is definitely this was before we were dating. It was, like, right when we started talking or whatever. It was, like, right at the beginning. It was, we would, like, Snapchat video every night, which was kind of weird because FaceTime exists. But, like, we had each other's number. But she's from Illinois, and so was her dad.
Okay.
So I basically, one night, I was just like, okay, I'm just going to FaceTime her instead of Snapchat her, because Snapchat FaceTime, because it's a little bit easier to do or whatever. And so, like, I just go into my recents, and I was just going to, like, you know, just click her name from my recents, and I had a complete brain meltdown, okay? I had forgot that the day before I had called her dad to ask a question about one of the refrigerators because the refrigerator plug had like, come undone. And keep in mind, this was at, like, 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this.
And so, like, because it was right after we had gotten off work, and so I click his number by accident because I saw the Illinois, but I didn't have his number saved in my phone, but I saw the Illinois like location, whatever you call that thing, and so I clicked on it, and bro, and I'm lucky he didn't pick up, but, like, I was like, why didn't, like, you didn't pick up my FaceTime call? Like, are you, like, I thought you said you were ready to pick, like, FaceTime or whatever, and she was like, I didn't get a call, and I was like, what? And
bruh.
I was like, huh? And so, like, I screenshot. I was like, look, I called you, and she was like, that's my dad. I was like, oh no. So
whoops.
He woke up, like, she's a very honest person, so, like, he woke up and asked her about it the next day, and, like, she basically told him about it, and so it was the next day after the FaceTime. Like, he knew it was me, and, like, we just kind of did not talk about it. And so we went over to their house again, the next day after that happened. After work, we went over to their house, and when you walk in, it's, like, goes through the living room, and then you go into the kitchen, and he was, like, sitting on the counter, and, like, we were all walking in, and keep in mind, it wasn't just me and her, but it was, like, a bunch of our friends too.
Yeah.
But I was in the front, and, like, we were, like, walking in, and I walked in, like, he was over the kitchen because her, like, uncle was over, so they were, like, talking in the kitchen or whatever, and I turned the corner and he just goes, "Hey, buddy," and I was like, "Hey,"
the
I was like,
anxiety of
"Hey,"
it.
and my heart started racing, and everybody just started busting out laughing because everybody had known what happened by that point.
Oh,
And, like-
that's terrible.
And like, he's like, "Hey, buddy," I was like, "Hey," and then he's like, "How are you?" I was like, "I've been dreading this moment for about 24 hours."
You walk in and you gotta one up him, and he goes, "Hey, buddy," and you go, "Hey, daddy."
Oh no! But it was legitimately the like most anxious interaction I've had in like such a long time. But then after that, like, but then the worst part is that her and her mom's iClouds are connected too. So like when I was FaceTiming her, it also sent a FaceTime to her mom. So like apparently I was like waking her mom up too. Bro,
Dude,
it was so
that's
like,
terrible.
I felt so bad, but like now it's something that we just kind of laugh about.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like,
I mean,
look
we
back
go
on-
over the story a lot, and it's well, not a lot, but it's like just a funny thing to reminisce on, and I'll forget it, and then you tell me again about you calling the dad, the owner of Chick-fil-A. Well, our
Like-
Chick-fil-A, but
like my boss and my girlfriend's dad, and I
Yeah.
called him at 12:30 in the in the
best thing you
morning.
could do.
Like,
And he just has this demeanor that's scary. So like that's the last person you want to
bro,
mess with.
and then the funniest thing though is that Bryson was like, "What if he picked up?" And I was like, "I don't know."
That would
And
be
Bryson
even
was like,
worse.
"Hey, I don't know if this is a bad time, but can I get a raise or something like that?" Like I wanted to catch you off guard. I wanted to catch you off guard, and
Oh my god.
while you were asleep, but
It's like you don't know it's him. You pick it up. Hey baby.
dude,
This is Ben's dad.
oh wait, yes,
Sally's dad.
dude, it like, it was like I don't know what I would have done if he had picked up, but another funny part of the story is like I accidentally texted his number too, like
Ooh.
the same way, but like it was just a picture of a car because I was like,
You're like, why didn't you pick up?
Yeah.
You're like sending that to Ben.
and I was like, I'm lucky I just didn't like keep calling. Like, what if I had kept calling? Like,
Dude,
I
you
just
would be
called
so
once.
pissed. You'd
Yeah.
get fired.
No,
I had something that was pretty embarrassing. So, you probably saw it on my Snapchat. I went to a Mom Jeans concert.
yeah, uh-huh.
So I go to the concert, and we actually get these front row seats, like on the gate. You probably saw it.
Yeah, yeah, I
But
saw
I was
those.
like on the gate. Well, lo and behold, Miss Beautiful, Miss cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon, double cheeked up, beautiful indie nose ring, my type of girl comes, stands right beside me, and the concert starts, and she honestly made the first move. Because I came in to have fun. She came in with priorities.
Okay.
What I thought was priorities. So she keeps like shaking my arm. She's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And she was like so flirty about it. Like,
Yes.
yeah. She's like, "This is crazy." And then she kept moving and like slapping my ass and like, "Sorry." And the whole time I'm starting to like, okay, she's beautiful. She is sexy. She's gorgeous. She's awesome and epic.
Right.
So I'm gonna make a move. Well, I make a move. And
Right.
she's making it back. So the whole concert, we're flirting back, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And I'm touching her back. And then one time I like grab her, and I'm like, "This is so much fun." And then she's laughing her butt off. Laughing her ass off. And then she shakes me.
Like
and she's like, "This
LMAO.
is so much." Yeah. So, yeah. Just like that. Well, eventually the concert ends, and after we're all having fun, and she's going off with her friends, and I go up to her real quick, and I tap her on the shoulder, and she's like, "Oh, hey." And I said, "Hey, can I get your Snapchat?" Lo and behold, her boyfriend that I did not see the whole time because he was on this side, far back, comes up and wraps his arm around her, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, bud, she's mine." And she's like, "Sorry." That went from the greatest night of my life to driving the truck we had into a pole. That was embarrassing. But the thing is, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So yeah, at the time it was embarrassing. we look back now, and it was a teachable moment.
Yeah.
Make sure she's not taken before trying to fuck.
Right. Well, look, or marry, you know.
Yeah, or court, you know.
But I saw this post the other day that, you know, the video or like the picture of the guy at the party, and he's wearing the hat and he's like got the cup in his hand, and then it's like he's standing in the corner by himself, and then like there's all the people dancing, and it's like the guy in the back, and he's like, they don't know that life is meaningless. But then it was like, then the other people are like, or he was like, they don't know that that this all has no meaning. And then like the other people are also like, they don't know, he doesn't know that it doesn't have any meaning.
Perspective.
So it's perspective. It's like how perspective is.
Exactly.
Speaking of concerts though, I'm going to John Mayer concert.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to John Mayer in April with Bryson.
Oh my God.
It's going to be
John Mayer. Dude.
Yeah.
Didn't he have a lot of allegations against him recently? I can't remember. People called him like a womanizer.
It's like, yeah, he had like, it's like Taylor Swift, and like my girlfriend's obsessed with Taylor Swift, and like, so I hear all about the like the Dear John stuff, and like how it like how he, I don't know the exact story, but like
he like, from what the song was saying, from my interpretation of it, because I haven't. Yeah, she was like, I was only 19. You like fucked with me, got in my head when I was so young, and you kind of manipulated me when I was such a young age, and he took advantage of me.
Yeah,
but it's like, what she doesn't know is, yes, you're 19. Yes, you're Taylor Swift. Yes, you're hot.
John Mayer makes good music, so. See, that's my comeback. I'm like, every time I listen to a John Mayer, like, she's like, yeah, well, he's a terrible person. I was like, yeah, so are a lot of celebrities, but we still choose to support them.
X stuck a pitchfork up his girlfriend's pussy.
Yeah.
So like, what? Yeah, he makes good music.
No. Yeah, well, he's kind of dead, so.
Damn. Wait, what?
Wait, he died. Hey,
Extension's dead?
Juice WRLD died?
Dude, let's talk about that.
Juice WRLD?
Juice WRLD did. It was December 8th, 2019. It was a Sunday.
I remember that. I texted you, bro.
That's what I was about to say. I wake up. My phone was right there on the black table. I wake up. I'm like, it's a great morning where all of my favorite rappers are still alive. I look over at my phone, see it's like 1 o'clock. It's late. And Mason has sent me like 8 texts like, dude, wake up. Juice WRLD is dead. I'm serious. This is not a joke. Like, Juice WRLD is dead. And I shit my pants. I came in my pants. I peed myself. And I was crying.
Dude,
I was so devastated.
Like, I remember because Juice WRLD, like, was one of your favorite artists. And, like, I was like, oh, gosh, River's going to be devastated when he finds out.
What did that feel like for you, knowing that, like, this person is somebody? At the time, I listened to his music every day. Any song you played, I knew. And at the time, he's, like, what got me through hard stuff. So what was it like for you, knowing, like, this terrible news, and you're like, he's not even awake. He's not aware at all. I was like,
well, see, for me, it would be like, if, like, for, like, me, it would be not really, like, I don't really have a favorite artist because I just don't like
but you listen to him a lot.
But, like, we both listen to Juice WRLD all the time. And, like, that gives me the memory of, like, going back to the car ride back. Remember that. The car ride back from my Mitsubishi Eclipse, the car ride back.
Going through Bowling Springs.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so cool that you could drive.
Yeah.
We could drive together.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing.
And we were like blasting Juice WRLD with Abby in the car too.
My God.
But yeah, no, it was just like, for me, it was like, I was like, wow, like I was like, I hope he doesn't kill himself over this. Like I was like sitting there and I was like Juice WRLD, like it kind of took me a minute to comprehend because like it's one of those things like I never knew him obviously,
right?
And, like he wasn't my favorite artist, but he was still young and like he's like my heart dropped when I read it.
Dude turned 21 3 days before he died.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's just like my heart like kind of like dropped and I was like, dang. But then like I was like, if my heart dropped, can't imagine how River's gonna be. So like I was like, it's like I really need him to wake up and find out because everybody knows. And like I was like, I don't want him going on like Snapchat and then just seeing a bunch of posts that say like rip Juice and all that sort of stuff.
Find it real quick, because I remember when I woke up, it was like I don't know how to explain it to the point where like maybe this is grief, but I didn't know him personally, so I don't want to say I grieved over him. But it was sort of like my whole day I just didn't believe it.
Yeah,
You
like
know what I mean?
denial.
Like you're such in denial and you're in shock, and like, let's see, I'm trying to find it. Let's see, entertain the people while I find.
Yeah,
this.
no, that's well, like when I did like,
Found it.
so I'm a pretty like I'm like a pretty like not hardcore Christian, but like I'm like hardcore
Yeah,
Christian.
you have a faith.
Yeah, like I'm pretty faithful, and I always have been.
Yeah.
And so, like I'm not like crazy Christian. Like I know how crazy
Yeah.
Christians are, but like it is the biggest part of my life. So like when I did a Christian like therapy type thing a couple months ago, just when I was like going through a hard patch or whatever.
Yeah.
And like we went over the stages of grief, and like one of those is denial, and like deny like
it's denial, anger, or it's like denial, shock, bargaining, anger, and then like depression. Or something.
like and
then acceptance. I think I forgot that.
Acceptance is like the final
The
stage.
final
Well,
stage.
actually, the one thing that I learned about the stages of grief is that they can come in any order. Like they can come in any order. Yeah, like they don't follow a specific order.
They don't have like a linear order to it.
So you can have
various.
acceptance but still be grieving.
Wow.
Like so, like that's kind of
yeah. I found the text you sent me. So let's see. It was December 8th, 2019, 10:23 a.m. Dude, wake up. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus World is dead. I said, stop. There's no way. You said, I'm serious. He had a seizure or something a few hours ago. I said, I don't know what to say. Oh, my God.
I remember I was in a sound booth, dude. I was running audio at church, and I was in the sound booth, and I saw it, and I was I gotta text.
When did you find out?
Yeah, no, I found out. I found out right at like I saw it on, like you know when you have the news app and it like just pops up and it's like news on your phone. That's when I saw it, and I was like, oh crap. I was like, I gotta text River, and so.
Were you not in shock at all? Like not
I was, but it was more of like a what the see for me, like it's hard to process things. Like not hard to process things, but it takes me longer than usual to process things. Like
especially if it's maybe
like something I can't believe. Like even like when when my family member, like I've had family members that have died, and it's just kind of hard for me. Like it takes for I don't know why like particular for me, but it takes longer to not accept things but kind of comprehend them. You know?
I mean, I've heard a lot that grief is different for everybody.
Yeah,
the way people process shock or trauma or anything like that is so different and so unique to every person.
Yeah,
so it's not a bad thing. It's just maybe that's your brain's way of trying to like cope.
Yeah, no, I just kind of
it's just not like it's denying it.
Like not that I deny it, like I know it happens, but it's just like I'm like, okay, yeah, this happened. Let me think about it for a little bit, and then like, I mean, eventually I accept it, and it doesn't. I wouldn't say it takes me longer than most to accept it, but it just takes me longer to comprehend it. Like, comprehend what happened and why it happened. Like that morning, like I was kind of like, what the heck, and like it never hit me until like maybe later that night that I was like, oh, he's never like. Where I was starting to think, I was like, he'll never release or like he'll never record another song. Like that's kind of
there's never gonna be another like all girls are the same. Like part 2 or whatever.
Yeah, he has like the stuff he recorded before he died, and that's it.
Yeah,
and like he's released stuff and like, and now people joke about it. Like it's like wait, how is he still releasing things? Like, and he'll still
dude,
like
that's shitty. Like his record label is literally milking every
death.
And I honestly do not like that. Like, yeah, new Juice WRLD songs are good, and like. You know, it's cool for people who like him, but at the same time, it's the fact that the from what I know, the record label who's releasing all this is just people who are trying to score money off his death. Like it's not going to him, like, obviously.
That's how. Yeah, like it's not going to him, and like unless it's going completely to his family. Like, and that's just what sucks. Is like I don't know. What's the saying? J. Cole says it. He says was it J. Cole? I can't remember. Somebody that raps just like a lyric that's like you're more
paraphrase it.
famous when you're dead. Like you're more famous.
Yeah,
dead
okay,
than
I've heard
alive.
that, yeah. People don't care
And-
until you're dead or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. People care about you the most until you're dead. And like like people are your friends once you're dead. And,
Yeah,
like, all that sort of stuff.
exactly.
And like so that's kind of how it is with Juice World though. It's like everybody, like his followers spiked and like people who listen to him spiked.
And then there's
stuff
so
like that.
many, and I'm not saying a lot of them were genuine, but you could tell there's a huge, what's the word? Like population of people who listen to his like 2 top songs, like All Girls Are the Same and they knew Lucid Dreams.
Yeah.
Didn't even know anything else about him, and I'm not trying to gatekeep, grieving or thinking it's sad that somebody's dead, but it was funny to see all the I don't know, just the people sort of like milking it, like Juice WRLD.
It's kind of like you can imagine the people that do it though. Like you
yeah,
can think
like
about
I
it
already
in your
have
head.
people.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm not even trying to go there, but it's like, yeah, you just know there's certain types of people who like to milk other people's like sadness.
Yeah,
or something.
like people's sadness and grief and to make themselves look more sad.
And that's what's so shitty. It's such a tragic thing. It's like, because we both weren't around when 9/11 happened.
yeah.
But it's like, let's imagine. I mean, I don't want to go there in like a comical sense, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's like, imagine something as tragic as 9/11 happened, and people are making light of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or sort of, they're using the tragedy there to put the spotlight on it.
like oh well, my uncle, or like people lie. Like I've heard of stories of people lying about like, yeah, my uncle died in 9/11, and they like lie about it just to get more attention. Or like Gypsy Rose Blanchard, like you know who that is, right?
Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard was
Is
this
that Fleetwood
girl.
Mac song?
You'll know who it is. It's the little girl whose mom lied to her and told her she had all these different diseases and like got a bunch of money from like fundraisers and like all this sort of stuff. And like the mom was lying in order to get more attention for herself.
That is so shitty.
Yeah, no, like, and so
That
like,
is the scum
but
of
the
earth.
thing is that Gypsy Rose Blanchard ended up finding out, and her boyfriend at the time helped her kill her mom, and they ran away. Like because she found out that her mom was pretty much lying to her that she was sick this whole
Imagine
time.
how much trauma that does to a kid.
Yeah, no,
Is
and she's
that the
in
same
jail
girl?
now.
Oh, she's in jail?
Yeah, they caught her and she's in jail. But like,
Oh, I thought she was dead.
did she die? Maybe she
I
died.
thought you said they got killed.
No, she killed her mom. The mom that was lying, she killed her mom. But-
So is the daughter in jail now?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that what
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
How did she go to jail?
Because she still killed her mom. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm so
she's
dumb.
the one that killed her mom, and then
Oh,
ran away
wait.
with her
Oh, she
boyfriend.
done with killing her mom.
Yeah, no. It's so like, there's a bunch of documentaries out because like sometimes they're like, is this justified?
Yeah.
Like, imagine you're lied to. Like
Yeah.
she kept her from her childhood. Like she kept her from doing all this stuff.
and then
made her take
trauma
all
she
this
has to go
medicine.
through from that.
Yeah, made her take all this medicine that she didn't need, and like,
Did she have to go through chemo or anything like that?
I think so. Like there was like,
the shit that does to your body, like the radiation in there.
yeah,
It's
and like,
messed up.
and then like it's like, it's insane. But then so she killed her mom, and like, but that's the whole thing. People like go out of their way to like make themselves
Exactly.
like more
Exactly.
get,
And
put more attention on themselves.
Was the mom the same one who faked having cancer for the attention? Like she shaved her head. I remember there's somebody on Dr.
I don't know.
Phil.
There's Gypsy Rose. Let me see. So Gypsy Rose Blanchard. This is what she looks like. There's like a lot of documentaries on her. Just because like her story is so interesting. But, like this is her and her. She's 30 now. But like this is her and the mom that she killed. And like,
Wait, can you go back?
yeah. So like this is the.
We're looking at pictures now. If I can remember this in the edit, pull up these pictures. All right, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. So the left is the mom.
No, the right is the mom. That's the mom. And then the mom made her think she had a
Oh
bunch of different
God.
diseases and stuff.
Dude, I'm not trying to be mean, but she looks like she's in 90s. So that just shows the crap that
yeah, exactly.
she had to go through, like chemo or whatever, shaving her head, all that. Like, that's so traumatic.
Dee Dee Blanchard making claims about her health that resulted in a series of dire diagnoses and medical interventions. However, Gypsy wasn't actually unwell. Her mother had been lying about her symptoms.
God. So
Her
is it
expert-
justified?
So experts believe, this is what it's called. Experts believe Dee Dee's behavior stemmed from the mental disorder Munchausen syndrome by proxy because Dee Dee wanted to be a caretaker. She feigned and induced illness in her daughter. And then let me see. I don't know exactly if Dee Dee. Okay. Due to these actions, Gypsy was prescribed a litany of medications and had to sleep using a breathing machine. She also went through multiple surgeries, including procedures on her eyes and removal of her salivary glands. When Gypsy's teeth rotted, perhaps through her medications, the salivary glands were pulled out. So like,
God.
the girl had to go through like surgery and like stuff because
for her mom's gain.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Dude,
like her
she needs
mom
to
lied about that.
And you're telling me she went to jail for shooting her mom?
Yeah,
killing
or
her
like,
mom?
well, it was, she didn't kill her mom. It was her boyfriend. But so she was a conspirator. Like
she helped it.
Yeah, she helped him.
She sort of.
So like, I don't know. I think about that, and I'm like, and then it's like, there's people. What's the guy's name back in the 70s that killed the guy that like on live television?
Killed the guy that like raped his son.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a God. It's off the tip of my penis. Let me look it up.
But he like, I think of stuff like that, or like say if somebody right now, like I don't know, like killed somebody that was close to me, and then I went after them and I killed them. Like I would still go to jail for that. Like is that justified or not?
Exactly. Because like I don't know, Gary Pluchet.
Because technically it's not self-defense.
Yep. Okay, it's Gary Pluchet, the father who killed his son's abuser.
Yeah, he did it on like live television, didn't he? He like I have pictures of video of like him just turning around and like shooting the guy.
And how did he go through the airport or wherever?
Yeah,
it was a revolver.
Well, the thing is like back then in airports there wasn't security like they didn't start implementing that security until 9/11, so he was able to take a revolver straight into the airport.
And that's crazy. He had the perfect spot. He was and this is like, I'm not making light of this situation because obviously it's super tragic, but he was on like the phone and he acts like he's on the phone and has like this jacket. What's those big jackets called?
Yeah, the trench coat.
Yeah. And he pulls around and he was like 2 feet away from it and he got a perfect headshot on him.
Yeah.
And it was like
that's like the things, but like Gypsy Rose Blanchard, I'm pretty sure there's like way more that goes into it. Yeah. And there's a reason why she's in jail because I'm pretty sure like she actually like it caused her mental issues too. Oh yeah, obviously. But like things like that, he died in 2014. Yeah, I don't think he went. Did he not go to jail for that? I'm pretty sure he.
No, he was released.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
he was in there for like a couple of days, but then they released him. I don't know if it was because of bond, or if it was because of, or if he had to wait to the judge to appeal it.
Yeah, and like if I was somebody that was like hiring or something like that, and they're like, oh, you're never gonna get hired if you go to jail, like yada yada yada. I would hire if I found out about that story. I'd be like, come work for me because I know you're gonna care.
Just
about
don't kill
what
me.
You do. Yeah, it's like I know you're gonna care about whatever you're passionate about, and like I know you're gonna care about the people around you. And obviously you cared about your son enough to go and find the abuser.
And
so,
dude, imagine your son, like the thing you love most in the world, getting sexually assaulted, molested, and beaten up by this guy who's a nobody and just likes it.
Yeah. Like, speaking of jobs, how's college search going for you? Like
college search?
College search. Like,
my bad. So the plan is, I've sort of made up my mind, and my counselor was really wanting to not make me, but she was really advising university. But I have absolutely nothing against university. It's just the debt that comes with it. I don't want like any student loan debt, even if it's minor. I just don't want any debt.
You don't want to be trapped like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, my dad's the financial aid advisor. So like he always like told me like, and he tells like people this all the time. He's like, if you have a job, like if you want to do a job that doesn't require college, don't go to college. Like it's an unnecessary expense. If you like say you want to be a mechanic or something, go to trade school.
Exactly.
Like, don't. And that's go like to college.
What I'm passionate about. And I'm not saying that, honestly, I don't think anybody is meant for a 9-to-5 job. I don't think, because you have those like 14-year-old edgy kids that's like, I'm just built different. I'm not meant for this 9-to-5 world. And it's like, fuck it. Nobody wants to work at 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's
like nobody wants to work. And that's why I feel like whatever I really want to do and something I'm passionate about is not in anything that would require a degree. It's creative stuff like a podcast or editing movies, and I get a film school or something like that.
Dude,
But
yeah. Speaking of which, one of my girlfriend's best friends is in film school in Orlando,
really,
and she loves it. Like
really honestly,
loves it a lot.
I wouldn't mind going in a little bit of depth for that.
Yeah, I mean,
sure
because it's only 2 years too. It's not like a full 4 years. It's 2 years.
And that's what I forgot. So I am going to college. But I made up my mind. I'm going to go to community college for 2 years, get my associates, and then I'll go to university.
Yeah.
So I'm only doing 2 years of the debt.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah, because that's what I kind of learned. That's another thing in college I've learned is like there's some people who are like, I don't really know what I want to do, and like even like my roommate at one point was like, I don't really know what I want to do, and I'm like, well, you don't have to start college right out of the bat. Like, yeah,
you can take a leap year. Plenty of people do that.
And like, it's just like, if you don't know what you want to do, don't go in debt to not know what you want to do. And like, that's the thing though, is like, I always go back to the Alan Watts quotes and like the motivational speech that I used to like. I used to listen to a lot of Alan Watts, and like one of his things was, it's better to have a short life full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way. Yeah. And it's like I kind of always live like that. And the thing is like I just got lucky because, I'm obsessed with technology and like my cybersecurity field because I'm doing cybersecurity. Like I love it. Like I love all the hacking stuff that I get to do.
So like that's something you should go to college for.
Yeah, and that's and that's like the school I'm going to is like one of like it's like one of 3 in the state that has, or like one of 4 in the state that has it, and because it's cybersecurity is pretty new. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that like I genuinely enjoy it, but it also makes good money. Like there's people that there's this girl that works in the White House. She got a cybersecurity job in the White House, and they were like, oh, the pay isn't that good. Like, and then she's like, oh man, like what's the pay? And they were like, it's only like $120,000 a year, like starting off. Like the starting pay isn't all that great. And she was like, she's like, let me think about it. Yeah. Yeah, because it's just like,
and that's like what I really want to do and what I'm passionate about is like sex work. It's like being a prostitute, looking for crack. Right. So really.
Right. There's plenty of jobs like that out there. And that's
they make good.
You do what you want to do. You do what you want to do.
I actually had a big question for you today. And this is serious. It sounds like a joke, but how much money would it take for you to suck a dick? Speaking
y'all
of
are getting paid?
No, but really, throw a number out.
I'd say $1 million.
Million?
Yeah.
I do it for about $10.
$10? I mean, I
give
got
or
that
take.
Right now. No.
Dude, but okay, now for Zac Efron, you have to give him head for 2 minutes. How much? Because I'm about to compare it to like not nice looking folk.
This is Zac Efron.
Zac Efron, dude, he's a good looking fellow. He's a Libra.
Can we switch it to Ryan Reynolds?
I'll suck him off too. Yeah,
okay, Ryan Reynolds. I'd probably go down. I'd go down to like 500,000.
Yeah,
500,000.
Honestly, that's reasonable.
Now, if it was like a homo,
whoa.
Sorry, homo's on the brain.
Sorry, got dick on the brain.
I meant to say hobo. Now, if it was a hobo, I might just pass on that. Like, we're dirty.
Ew.
Like, bro probably hasn't showered in like months.
I mean, it'll give it flavor. So, let's say it's okay. We gotta think. Let's say it's Joe Biden. Joe Biden. How much? And he says you are legally immune after this, and on top of that, I'll give you 400,000.
Legally immune and an extra 400,000. Like if I did any crime, he would like pardon it.
It's past. Yeah, you could you could freaking kill somebody, and he's like, that's chill. Like that's mad chill. I'll let it pass. It's straight.
I think I'm gonna go a little bit lower on that one. I'm even gonna say lower than Ryan Reynolds. I'm gonna say like 100,000, just because, bro, like that's an expense that people don't normally get. Because then I'm getting 500,000 because you give me an extra 400,000.
No tickets.
No tickets, no nothing.
No
like
tickets.
I can just speed. Like,
Dude, that's the biggest thing. You could get like once you get a good car.
Yeah,
and not saying your car's not good, but like a fast
or like
car,
an R6
like
or something like that, just like down the highway and like
accidentally crash into a family of 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep on driving because
but
you're legally
you have immunity. That's what I'm saying. Like if you just smack into and it's like GTA. You smack into any car you want to, and they're just like I would just get like a tank, like an armored vehicle, and just ride around in an armored vehicle.
Oh my god, dude, and that's genius. Have you heard of the Galena Maxwell? Well, it's Jeffrey Epstein's like co-partner.
Yeah.
This. I found out something crazy yesterday. So you've heard of the Madison McCain or Madeline McCain?
Yeah.
Where she at like 3 she was taken and everything like that. Well, the suspect drawing, like the profile for that, they drew it. You compare that to Ghislaine Maxwell or whatever her name is. They look so closely, and she did the same thing.
Dude, me and my girlfriend talk about conspiracy theories a lot because she flew out to Denver. She flew out to Denver a couple months ago, and I was telling her about the Denver airport conspiracy theory.
And we talk
about the Denver airport conspiracy theories. Like, dude, the whole Free Britney thing, that was a conspiracy theory, and people didn't
really.
Yeah, like that was a whole conspiracy theory, and then it turns out it was true. Like stuff like that is true.
Dude.
And so like this is one of those things that I think could be true. So basically, like, with the whole Denver airport thing, so there's an airport, and my girlfriend has a picture of it. I got her to send a picture of it to me. There's a horse outside the airport, and its eyes glow red. It's a blue horse, and its eyes glow red, and its name is Lucifer.
Oh and my god! Is it still alive?
No, it's it's a statue.
Oh, okay.
It's a statue.
It was a real
so it's
horse.
like a huge statue, and outside the airport. And the airport is just nothing. Like it's nothing for miles. Like it's just an airport in the middle of nowhere. But it's one of the most popular airports. Like
how do people drive to it?
So, but the weirdest thing is that you go into the airport, and when the airport was constructed I think it was constructed back in the 90s. The construction workers say it took like 6 or 7 years, or it's some weird like long number. It took that much time, longer to construct the airport because a lot of construction workers were saying they were making them build underground tunnels underneath the airport. And so then the top level of the airport, you come into the airport, and there's multiple murals in the airport that supposedly represents the apocalypse. So it's like all these different murals of like random crap, and like this is one that I like actually, but like a conspiracy theory I actually believe. And like I said, like the airport extends for miles and it's just nothing, and like they were saying like that it took so long to construct it.
So is there any even like business going on there?
Yeah, no, yeah. So it is an actual airport.
Okay.
Like it's a legit airport that people fly in and out of all the
creepy.
time. But the thing is that the weirdest part is back in 2000, I want to say like 2012, 2013, it was something like that. There was this asteroid that came like super close to Earth, and when the asteroid came close, they flew out like Obama and like congressmen out to that airport, and like there's like they flew them out to that airport to kind of like be there in that airport, like.
Dude.
So people are saying like the airport is just like a place where like elite members of society like meet, or like, and it's like bomb shelters and stuff like that underneath of there.
Oh my god! And do they even say where bomb shelters are for like presidents?
No,
or anything like that.
No, no.
Like didn't they like shelter them during the January 6th riots? Or like the January 6th.
Yeah.
So like where's the bunker? I've always
so
been
like
curious.
there's a bunker in there, but no one knows where it's at. You only know.
I only saw. So there's like an old one that's been released, and it is the craziest. It's way sicker than I ever imagined it'd be. It was past presidents, and this was like in 2000s.
Yeah.
So it was pretty recent, and basically, it goes into this mountain. It's a tunnel, and the entire mountain's theirs. You go into it. It's a tunnel that goes on for forever, but you can drive a car into there, or like it has a railway system. You go in, and it is a mansion inside of the mountain that's built by the mountain, and it has water for years. It has food for years. It's like cannibal.
Yeah.
It has beds and like so many rooms, and it's like the sickest bunker you could ever imagine. I think the camera.
It's running out of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
I
fine.
bet.
We'll just take a picture and let it go because it's only an hour. But
Sorry about that,
yeah.
fam. Our camera died, so the video portion of this podcast is now stopping, but the audio shall go on.
Yeah. So what was I talking about? About the bunkers. Like,
Yeah.
it reminds me of you seen the movie Kingsman Secret Service, right?
I don't know.
Well, they have like a
remind me
bunker.
of-
They have like a bunker in that, and like it's like there's a lot that goes into that stuff. And I think that like really when it comes to like government funded stuff like bunkers and stuff, there's a lot more that goes into it than people think. Like there's so much technology that's like out there that is not public, you know?
Dude, this kind of leads into it. But have you seen not Larry Nasser, that guy who worked for Area 51? Have you seen that?
Yeah,
And how he talks about one of his missions were to look, and they would never. You can only talk to you and your partner in Area 51.
Yeah.
You can never talk to your boss. You can't tell anything. So what they give you is very, what's the word? It's like
individualized.
subtle. Individualized,
Yeah.
and it's very, even your boss doesn't tell you a lot. He gives you a very short, like, thing. And what he told him was, hey, go into this. And what he's saying is, like, go into this UFO, like, because they're around the spacecraft. He goes into it, and nothing in there wasn't a single thing except for one thing that was any material from the Earth. No material from the Earth. And he said the only thing that was slightly human, that had a slightly human factor, was the ground, like the floor had 2 floors.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like a empty 6-pack of beer, but it was empty. So it's like it can fold. You know what I mean? Like if you step on it, and then if you can step on it, but you can push it back as well, so it folds. And he said that was crazy and neat. And the craft was only like 3 feet tall. So that shows that could be a society that's shorter. And he was saying this is so possible. Like there was no buttons, there's nothing, but it was like flyable. And that's the craziest thing to me, and that's why low-key conspiracy theories are, like, really interesting.
Yeah, no, and then space just in general is interesting to me because just yesterday, it was either yesterday or the day before, it was the first time we actually got into the atmosphere of the sun. They sent a rover out, and there was a rover got to the atmosphere of the sun, like, yesterday or 2 days ago for the first time ever. Like, I saw this comment that was like, every time I see space and first time in the same sentence, I'm like amazed. Because like there was always a first time in space. There was a first time on the moon. There was a first time on the atmosphere of the sun. Who says like next we won't be on the surface of the sun?
Exactly.
But the thing is like there's so much opportunity in space too. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson always says like the first trillionaires are going to be they're going to be diamond miners off of asteroid miners. Like he says that's what he thinks the first trillionaires of the world are going to be is asteroid miners.
I can see it. Have you seen the picture of Mars, the surface of Mars, and it shows in the background very, very, it's like a little pebble of light. That's our
us.
Earth. That's us. And all of it. There was a quote. Here, I'm going to pull it up. It's the quote about saying everything and everyone you know, everything that's happened in history, all of the great things that's happened in this like little pebble. It's insane.
Oh yeah. I have seen that. And like it's weird because then you think, well, our galaxy is literally a pebble in the universe, and we're a pebble inside of a pebble.
Yeah. And there's probably, I'm not trying to get too crazy, but I genuinely think there's other universes and other galaxies.
Oh, for sure. Well, that's what when I was taking physics, when I was doing physics, that was what my senior project was on, was parallel universes, and like because like I had to think about it, and like I did an essay on parallel universes, and I had to think, and I was like, there could be a universe in which my eyebrow at this very specific moment is just a little bit crooked, and that's the only thing that's different in that universe.
Yeah.
Like, and like, or like there could be a universe where you don't have that sticker on your door right there, but you have all the other ones, and that's just the only thing that's different in the universe.
Yeah.
And so like, but the thing is like, I had to find out proof that they existed, but there actually is there is a little bit of evidence of a parallel universe, and it was from up in the North Pole or the Arctic or something like that. There was a piece of space-time warped for a minute, and it was basically they were able to gain access, not access, but like they were able to learn about basically a universe where time is backwards. And
oh my, yeah.
So
like, or there's maybe no time.
Yeah, like they're able to learn that time is backwards, and like that's kind of weird to me too, because like I said earlier, I'm a pretty strong Christian, and like it's cool to learn, like, because the whole thing behind God is beyond time and space, and so like to think that there's another universe, because for us time and space is always going to exist, but there could be another universe where time is backwards, like, and that's kind of weird, because like I don't know how to like explain it, but time being backwards is just a confusing thought. Like all of it is confusing to me. Like it's just confusing thoughts. But like it's probably my favorite thing about my senior project in physics was
I can't find the quote that I was looking for.
I know what you're talking about though. That like, but that was my favorite part about my senior project in physics was learning about parallel universes, and basically like. And thinking about it that way is like, oh my gosh, there could be a universe where like, I don't know, I'm missing a toe, or like
you look the same or something.
Yeah.
And that's anytime I think about space, I just feel like paralyzed with this, I don't know, like this unknowing. Yeah, there's so much stuff we don't know, and you always think your day-to-day life is so important, and like it's what's happening. And then you look outside, and you're like, I'm literally the size of not even a pebble, smaller than a pebble in relative to all of space and all of universe. And I think this is so important. I think getting all these fillets out is the most important thing in the world. But in reality, I'm nothing more than like an ant. And that's not to say our lives don't matter. I think we have some sort of purpose. But there's a quote that's something like, you are the universe experiencing itself, or something like that.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's so true.
It's like, I feel like your life has purpose because there's things like the butterfly effect, because even though we might not know about space now, who's to say you won't give birth to the child who's going to learn about the other universes and stuff like that. So like you do play a key role, and like, yes, eventually somebody will speak your name the last time, but my thing is like,
the way Jordan Peterson puts it is, instead of thinking life is like a line or like a linear line that's like, you're here, you made this, he said life is more like a network in terms of population. A network, your role here is to shoot a signal to here, basically. Like, yeah, you may not do a lot in your life, but you just did something that's going to make something incredible happen.
Yeah, or like you might inspire somebody to like do, like, I mean, like for me, the gym is really important, and like I've inspired a couple like of my other friends to get into it and like change their life around, and like without like even my dad, like with my dad, like me going to the gym, because like, you know, a year ago I was fat. Like, I got fat over COVID and stuff like that. Then I was like, dang, I really need to start being healthier and like take care of myself, because like I kind of thought about it, and I was like, the basic thing is I've only got one body. So I was like, I'm going to take care of it, and I'm going to do what I want to do with it, and I'm going to make sure I stay healthy, because like I have a history of unhealthiness, not just like physically but mentally in my family too. So I was like, I'm gonna make sure that I'm going to bed on time. I'm gonna make sure that I'm taking my proper vitamins. I'm gonna make sure I'm working out. I'm gonna make sure that I'm happy. I'm gonna make sure that what I do is not only for myself but benefits myself. You know? Like, and I feel like it's kind of I feel like people think doing stuff for yourself is selfish, but the thing is like you need to find like like I said, I'm watching BoJack Horseman, you know, like where he's like I'm finally happy and I'm not gonna feel bad about it.
Yeah,
you know, and that's kind of how I feel. It's that like I kind of took control of my own life again. It's like I was like, I'm gonna be my better self, you know, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and like people who know me know I'm just like a different person than I was. Like
once
even
you started
even
going
a
to
year
the gym,
ago.
you changed a lot.
Yeah,
for sure.
and it's just like I kind of got into that mentality of like like this is my only life and I'm gonna live it how I want to live it, and I'm gonna live it responsibly. And so like there was the biggest thing too was like motivation. So like I made my wallpaper when I first started. I got really into like even like mental things. Like I got really into reading. Like I was trying to read read books and stuff. So I got really into like stoicism.
Oh my god, I love stoicism. That sounds like such a fanboy.
Yeah,
like
so
14-year-old fanboy. I love stoicism.
No, but I got into it, and because a lot of it is just learning to live your life how you want to live it,
and just being stoic.
So like my wallpaper when I first started going to the gym and like being my better self was a quote from Seneca, and it's how long can you afford to put off who you really want to be? And so like every day I would wake up and like when on the days where I felt like skipping my alarm or snoozing my alarm, that's the first thing I would see when I wake up. And I was like, okay, I can't do that. Like I was like, I gotta be who I want to be. Like I gotta be the person that I want to be. And like that's like what I was telling you about. Like last night I went to go see No Way Home, and like I wore a full on Spider-Man costume to No Way Home. But the thing is like the reason I did it was because it was something I wanted to do for myself, you know? And the thing is too, is like, yeah, my girlfriend went with me, but she was like, be yourself. And I was like, I'm going to be myself. So it was like nice because then you got it, then when you have people around you supporting you in that too,
absolutely,
like making like especially my girlfriend. Like my girlfriend's great. She makes sure like it's like, oh, how was your gym day? Like I have in my notebook. Whenever she listens to this, if she listens to it, she's gonna hate me for saying this because she likes people to think she's all tough and and stuff. But like in my weightlifting notebook, like if she gets a hold of it, I'll write out my like weightlifting plan for the next day, and like next to it, she'll put like a note like enjoy your weightlifting day. There's one in the front that's like food is not just numbers, because there was like one time where like we went out to eat and like I was trying to find like healthier options or whatever, and I couldn't find anything, and I like got frustrated about it. And she was like, then like the next day she wrote in my weightlifting notebook like food is not just numbers and like stuff like that. So it's the little things like that, like encouragement, but like it's definitely the people around you that are encouraging you to do that stuff.
It
like,
matters a lot.
But first it was like for me, I had to start with myself. You know, like I had to start with like
like your world. And it's so cliche to say, but like your world and your perspective of the world is always you. Yeah. Like how you view it in your perspective.
It's how you view the world.
Exactly.
And so like I did like, and for me it was not really motivation, because sometimes it can be hard to find motivation and it can make you feel like you want to quit. But it was more discipline, like than anything. Like I was learning to discipline myself, not motivate myself.
Yeah.
And like there's an eating disorder. I'm not exactly sure what the name of it is, but like there's a lot of people who claim that whenever they see people like me who bulk and cut, and then they watch their calories, they watch what they eat, they like watch their macros and stuff. They're like, oh, you have an eating disorder. And I'm like,
is it a body dysmorphia or something like that?
Well, yeah, not body, not
Bulgaria.
It's like, you know how there's like Bulgarian like anorexia, stuff like that. Well, there's another term for it where basically it's like you feel bad if you don't eat something healthy, like, or like if you are not tracking. And I'm like, yeah, there's a difference between that. See, I would understand if like a certain person was not enjoying their life, you know, like
Yeah.
oh, I'm not gonna go and I'm not gonna have a milkshake or ice cream with my friends tonight because I can't. Like, and there has been some days where I'm like, yeah, like I've had a lot of calories today. I'm not gonna do that. But then like I had to learn that too. Like some days I have to be like, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy that part of my life because I want to today. Like, so, but there's like that part. But then I've seen like it. I really have to like tell people like it's getting your eating in order. It's not an eating disorder. It's getting your eating in order.
Dude,
because
that's
like
bars.
people live so unhealthy nowadays.
Yeah.
And so like,
and that's the thing. Every time I see a fat ass, I'm just kidding. But seriously,
yeah.
you ate your way in, you can walk your way out. Bill Burr. Well, that was this podcast for today. And Mason, did you like it?
I enjoyed it. We'll definitely have to do it again because
Yes, please.
like we were talking earlier, and like me and River have been friends for so long that it's just so like easy to like talk because this is like the conversations that we have like
honestly,
like late at night, like just
when
like
we were back in like 2017, we'd play Fortnite till like 4 a.m. and just talk about. I'm really getting into your mom.
Oh yeah, your mom. That's and then or Rainbow. Remember our Rainbow Six Siege phase?
Yes.
Oh, with David.
Fun. Well, this honestly this felt like a really smooth podcast, and I really think it's gonna sound funny once we play it back. And it's the first podcast with video, hopefully, if everything works out.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope. But thank you everybody for listening, and thank you, Mason.
You will definitely see me back on the podcast.
Oh,
again.
yes, you will. So I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. As always, if you left a rating or even listened to it, that's a lot. But if you left a rating, doesn't even have to be a review. Really helps me in terms of getting higher up on the availability for people to listen and help grow our audience. So thank you everybody for at least listening. If you did, I appreciate it a lot. And I will see you next week. Bye.
Adios.